Hello, my friend. This is Clyde. Listen to the voice speaking to you. John 14 and verse 27 says, "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid." We're living in challenging times, and the challenges vary depending on where you live. But there is no doubt that we are facing challenges, whatever we do, wherever we are on a given day. Just a day ago, a small group of people were meeting in a church for what seems like a scheduled meeting when a lone gunman walked in and started firing, killing 2 people and sending a third to the hospital. This is after the nation is crawling out from the shock of a mass shooting of 19 children and 2 teachers on a school campus while school was in session in a small Texan community recently. Then there is a challenge of rising cost of living. While the economic experts are debating about inflation and high interest rates and which version of economics is best for the society, real-life people are experiencing high gas prices, the slow but gradual increase in grocery items, and the grocery bags are getting smaller with each trip. Mortgages and rents are climbing at such a rate that soon more people might be homeless. And as if that were not enough, there seems to be a spate of suicide, especially among young people. More and more of our promising youths are overwhelmed by the realities of their personal lives, and in frustration and despair, they make the fatal decision to take their lives. Then there is COVID. Just when you think that it is going, or it is gone, it continues to rain carnage across the community. One more challenge that comes in different colors. The degree of hate among us, the bigotry and the racism and the fight over sexuality, and the list goes on and makes you want to not get out of bed, makes you want to run away and hide, makes you want to stop and simply ask, what next? That is the question I want us to find an answer to. What next? Jesus' friends and his close followers, they were facing a dilemma. Jesus was about to leave them for what seems like a permanent departure. You would think that that is no big thing, but these are people who for 3 years were with Jesus. He was not the man they watched on their TV each night or the man who would send them inspirational texts each day. He was their teacher, their leader, their hope for a brighter tomorrow. But now the reality is that he was going to be gone in a few short days. Despair and fear and depression filled their ranks. What does Jesus do? He spoke. He did not do a miracle, my friend. He did not walk on water. He did not feed them with fish and bread. Jesus simply spoke. There is something about hearing a voice in the midst of your struggles and despair, but not any old voice, because it is the many other voices that cause wars and crimes and violence and hate and the jacking up of prices. People are listening to too many voices, and many of these voices are connected to the thief. You heard correctly. In one of his teaching moments, Jesus addressed the issue of the voices. He said that the sheep do not know the voice of a stranger, but that stranger comes regardless with a mission of destruction to steal, kill, and destroy. We're living witnesses to the mayhem and destruction and rising death rates that are results of people listening to the wrong voices. In the midst of the chaos, in the midst of the turmoil and uncertainties that we are dealing with, there is one voice, not loud, but compelling. And this voice is a voice of love and compassion. This voice does not come with false promises, and it doesn't pit you against your brother. This voice is calm and arrests your attention. The followers of Jesus, they knew this voice because for 3 years they have heard the voice of Jesus on different occasions. They are well acquainted with this voice, but this time it is different. This time there is no crowd. The 5,000 hungry men plus women and children are not there. They were not out in the public square where so many people wanted him to heal them and do miracles. They were not by the seashore while thousands of people are listening to his teaching, and maybe some people could not hear because the crowd was so large. This time, the voice comes in an intimate setting where just us friends are here in the quiet of a room away from the hustle and bustle of life. Jesus says to his friends, "Peace I leave with you." That sounds familiar. Remember the night when we were sailing across the Sea of Galilee and this storm came up out of nowhere and we were fearful that we were going to drown? Remember, we woke him up and he said that peace word and the storm ceased immediately. Do you remember? Is that what he's saying today? Let's listen further. "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid." Yes, I heard it. I heard the voice and I remember that night on the sea. I remember that all he did was speak the peace word. And just like that, the turbulence and the threat disappeared. I was there and I saw it for myself. Now we are facing a different storm and he's giving the peace solution, a different kind of peace that the political parties do not offer, a different kind of peace that wealth and guns and science and your zip code cannot give. This peace is coming from the man of whom the ancient trusted prophet named Isaiah said he would be called the Prince of Peace. I get it. I totally get it. I can't fix the storms that bring fear, and I can't solve the problems of my era. I will choose, however, to accept the offer of peace from the Prince of Peace, and so I can live without fear, so that I can be at peace. Thank you, Jesus. Do you want help in accessing this peace? Send me an email at friendofclyde@gmail.com.